Good evening, everybody. What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. If you're not familiar with the den, and the best conversation on the internet. And you say, well, why do you say that this is the best conversation on the internet? Well, because you wonderful people uh, that tune into the den each and every night that make this conversation what it is. So I thank you for being here. Who we got joining us this evening? The actually, let me make sure I hit the button properly. Sometimes I forget to hit the button. Oh, there it is. Shout out to 335 D Kenobi. How you doing this evening? So we got a very interesting topic to talk about tonight, and that topic is fat phobia. So first, make sure you're following all the proper social medias up there, and you make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I got a feeling tonight there's gonna be some thumbs down, but hey, you know how we roll in the den. It's okay. All right. So there has been some inconsistency, I guess you say, the last couple of days. I've been working on some things, trying to. Oh shit! I'm about to spill shit everywhere. Ah, Alexander, what's the motherfucking deal? So I've been working on some things, trying to get some things in order. Decided I think I'm going to do a thing that I've been putting off probably way too. I honestly never even thought about it. Never even really reconsidered it. But I think I need to do it. So I think it's like too late to do it now, but in the upcoming year. Damn it, what's going on my screen over here? There we go. In the upcoming year, new year, I think I go back to school. I'm gonna be the old man in the classroom. I mean, hey, who's this old black guy? Yeah, he's in here complaining about the music's too loud and the kids wearing their pants too low. Who is this guy? Get him out of here, right? Yeah, I think that. So, so we're gonna get into the conversation of fat phobia. What is fat phobia? What does it really mean? Is it a real thing? And I got video proof. Got video proof of the conversation so we can get a better understanding of it. And again, I apologize a little bit later, Den. Um, thought I'd be done a little bit earlier, but I was not. And I also got to talk about that damn Squid Game, right? I didn't quite finish. I'm almost finished with it. Yeah, five faces. That's what I'm gonna look like if I keep eating the way I've been eating lately. I know some of you are gonna say, Ancho, you're an asshole. You just want to talk about fat people. Well, guess what? I'm fat. I got fat privilege. So I can talk about just like I can talk about black people with reckless abandon because I'm black. Nobody can say anything about it. You call me coon, I don't give a fuck about that. I can talk about fat people because I'm fat. So I got permission, right? Like I can talk about people with four eyes because I got glasses. I got all the privileges. So I'm allowed to do these things. Uh so I saw that. Let's go, Brandon. Shout out to the lovely Miss Sarah Lou. Mm. Ah. So yes, let's go, Brad. Let's get into it, man. So like I said, I got videos. Let's switch over to the video screen. Um, hold on, let me make sure this don't start playing as soon as I switch over. There's gonna be some very interesting stuff going on. And let me get off this camera because this shit is making me look really weird. I mean, I'm fat, but I'm not this fat yet. I'm not far from it, but I'm close. Oh no. Oh no. What am I looking for? I'm looking for. I had these. See, ever since I relabeled all my shit, I got my fucking OBS laid out way differently. I don't even know the shit I be putting on. Oh, there it is. Okay. And let's switch this up. Bloop, bloop. Okay, here we go. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's make it shake. Don't mind my wiggly. It's like with this filter. I mean, what not the filter with the damn green screen away stuff. It looks like the fucking thing from some fucking home movies. Home movies is an underrated cartoon. Just saying it again. And also that show. What was that show that used to come on HBO? Like Life and Times of Tim or some shit like that. That was a great cartoon. Very underappreciated. Tim was a piece of shit. And the black lady that used to be on there used to be funny as fuck though. Oh, fat me, not so fat me. Fat me, not so fat me. Fat me, not so fat me. Well, fat me and really, really fat me. Fat me and really, really fat me. Hey, fat me and really, really fat me. Hey. All right, that's all I got. Boop. All right, really, really fat me has to go because we got to show some videos. There's absolutely no music. It's just in my head. So let's watch. So fat phobia, right? And this is the allegation that society in America is anti-fat. It's rooted in prejudice. Some people say it's rooted in racism. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of crazy accusations. We're going to go through some of these videos. I'm going to bust them down as they go along. And y'all already know where I'm going to go with this. But let's just have fun while we do it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Maybe I might start doing Fat Phobic Fridays when we pull crazy videos off the wokest social media that we can find. And then we talk poorly about it.
And you wonder why we don't trust these people. It happens every single time. Every single time. This is from today. This is from today.
Well, see. You can't just start making random songs about anything, right? You just can't sing random shit randomly, right? Because it just doesn't work that way. And how many people start picking a struggle, right? I'm assuming there's a sexuality struggle going on. Obviously, there's going to be a weight conversation going on here. But the biggest struggle that this person is facing is the shirt struggle, right? It's a lot going on. You got, I get the layered look thing going on here. A lot of contrast, a lot of shit going on. I'm not a fan. I give it 2 thumbs down. I give the shirt 2 thumbs down. The shirt combination, just 2 thumbs down. Hey, I find it weird that this is the funny thing, right? And this is what all these groups. We can talk about racism. We can talk about sexuality groups. We can talk about the fat group, like whatever. When anybody identifies with like this intersectional type group, it always seems like you can find a bazillion pieces of evidence of those people in that group hating, shitting on everybody else, mad about everybody else who are doing positive things, beneficial things, or whatever. And the people that they say hate on them, you never see it. Like you never find, it's never there. Like, I mean, if we compared, because usually it's a mainstream group they're hating on. So you would say the group with millions and millions of participants, if not tens of millions of participants, versus one of these smaller, more quote unquote marginalized groups who would have, you would say less folks in it. But you can always find way more cases of people from the smaller group very angry and mad and upset at the larger group. Stereotypes, I don't know, maybe. But it says Rebel Wilson poses in a swimsuit and tells fans it's never too late to improve yourself. Now, Rebel Wilson has made herself relatively known. I don't know if she's British or Australian or whatever she is. She always had that weird accent, right? But she was kind of in the Monique camp, right? It's funny because she's fat. And there's a lot of people who use that stick. It's a lot of people who use, yeah, I'm a fat person. Look at me, fat. I'm jiggling, and that's how they, get their laughs or whatever. And then I guess you got people who associate with that. And then you have people who get mad when those people who were large say, you know what? Maybe I'm not as happy at this size. Maybe I'm not comfortable, maybe I want to improve my quality of life and I want to lose a little bit of weight. Then you get the people angry. Apparently, Rebel Wilson has lost 60 pounds sometime in September, late September. I have to revamp something on this big head person's in the way I can't see it.
Yeah, no. Wasn't fat rep. Was not ever fat rep. Unapologetic fat actors forever and only. Till the end of time. This is boring!
So this person's saying absolutely nothing, right? Hey, I want you to be fat because I'm fat. I don't want to put in the work. I can't like you anymore because you've lost it. You know how stupid that sounds? You know how dumb that of like, I can understand the political stuff. I could understand, racial issues, if you really want to take it there, like I could get a lot of these other things. And policy, you can kind of change your policies, but your opinions, your beliefs, those are one thing. Race, I don't have enough cake soap in the world to switch it up, no matter how hard I may or may not try. But the one thing that you choose to stake your heel on, and this is definitely an American thing or a Western thing, the one thing you choose to stake your claim on, the hill you choose to die on after you struggle to climb up it and you're out of breath by the time you get to the top of it. Is that a bad joke? Maybe, but I said it. Is being fat. The thing that you can change, the actual thing that you can impact. People do it all the fucking time. Just say you're lazy without saying you're lazy. I don't like it. I don't. And let me explain my stance. Right, I'm not anti-fat anything. Right, I told you I am very large. Right, I'm going to be honest. I let myself go after the birthday. I weighed myself yesterday, and boy, disgust. I guess that's fat. Well, you said you could put some weight on you. No, I'm weight phobic, right? I didn't say I was disgusted in my physical appearance. I was disgusted at the number that showed up on the scale, so I'm weight phobic. Is that a thing? Are we going to start doing that with numbers? You hate numbers now. You mathophobe. Yeah, that's what I'm starting calling people. You want to be a dummy? You're a math. You're English phobic. You're an Englophobe. I don't know. Anyway, so this person has nothing to say. All right, I'm gonna let it play in its entirety, but you'll realize this person added absolutely nothing. They're just basically saying, "I'm lazy and mad that this person decided to lose weight because that's what they wanted to do for themselves." She lost more than 60 pounds after revamping her diet and exercise habits. What's wrong with that? Where is the bad thing about that? Like, I always wondered, like, how come fat people were always able to call skinny people, like, call them out and say stuff about them. You can say whatever you want to, but then as soon as you turn around and say something about somebody fat, you're like a bad person. Like, I don't understand that. Like, why is there this double standard? Like, if we go, you skinny, you need to eat something, girl. Maybe you need to eat less. Oh, dare you say what you said? You're so rude. Like, it's so fucking stupid, right? But it works like that with all the quote unquote marginalized groups. They can say whatever they want to, but then if you address it, and you're a terrible person. Anyway. Yeah, said nothing. I'm gonna let this whole thing play through. So 30 seconds.
And you wonder why we don't trust these people.
You don't trust her. I said I was gonna let it play through. Don't trust me because I said I was gonna let it play through and I didn't. You don't trust her because she lost weight. Wow. Who'd have thunk? Maybe I'm a little more comfortable. Maybe I feel a little bit better. Maybe I get up these stairs without breathing this heavy. Maybe, I want to live a more active lifestyle. Now you don't trust me because I want to do these things. Okay, cool.
It happens every single time. Every single time. This is from today. This is from today. Yeah, no. Wasn't fat rep. Was not ever fat rep. Unapologetic fat actors forever and only. Till the end of time. This is boring!
Did we learn anything from that? Did we gain any knowledge? Did we level up in any form? Like, wasn't fat rap? What does that mean? We're talking about like the Fat Boys? Are we talking about like Heavy D? Is that what we're talking about? Heavy D can rap. So Mix-a-Lot was kind of chunky at one point in time. Anyway, I don't know, right? Are we talking about Big Pun? Are we talking Fat Joe, who's not so Fat Joe now? What are you talking about? It's fat rap. Unapologetic fat actors for life. Might be the dumbest way of saying keep it real I've ever heard, right? I don't know. I already told you I think saying keep it real is stupid because the meaning behind it. Like it sounds good on the when you say, oh, I gotta keep it real. But most time when people say keep it real, they're just saying, don't change, don't improve, don't do anything to better yourself. Anywho, that's not the worst of the worst we're gonna watch tonight. Oh, there's actually, I'm gonna show y'all two videos. I'm gonna show y'all actually a video we watched a long time ago. I'm gonna show y'all two videos because both of these women are referencing the same book, but obviously got different meanings out of it, right? And we'll just the next two videos will be kind of semi, not really, slightly related. Let's reverse Oreo this thing.
Pull up in it. Bro, this shit fucking hurt. It always hurts me when I see a black person being fat phobic. It just crushes me, especially because
Let's tie a bunch of let's tie the black oppression, let's tie the racism, let's tie the fatism. Let's just put it all in here, right? Let's just put it all in. You see, you really shouldn't dislike say anything about fat people because your grandma was fat and she had high blood pressure, so you loved your grandma, so you really shouldn't say anything negative about it. This hurts me. No, what hurts you is getting up out of the bed in the fucking morning, right? Taking somebody who knows. Remember, I got fat privilege. I can say whatever the fuck I want to.
one of the origins of fat phobia was literally racism. Prior to the Atlanta
I hate the way this broad talks. Like this is like of all the videos I've gotten today, it's like this is like the toughest one for me to get through. Like, and she has a bunch of stupid videos, and her fucking name is like your average white guy or some stupid shit. Like, so you can tell she just wakes up oppressed by life. Her life sucks.
slave trade, Europeans actually found plushy, chubby to fat women extremely desirable and as a sign of health, whereas people who were thinner were sick and weird, specifically ugly. But during the Atlantic slave
Whatever you got to say to make yourself feel better. And this is like, what y'all got to understand too, is like, this coming from a dude, like, I don't really like skinny chicks. I don't. I've never been attracted to the whole super skinny chick thing, right? Like, you gotta have some, you gotta like look like you got some childbearing hips, thighs, I got big hands. I like big features. Now, don't take that as saying that I want to embrace fucking heffalumps, right? Like I want everybody no, it's not the same thing. Like I just like a woman with a little bit of toned, structured, proportionate meat. Not round. Just round. How's your face that round? She got that fucking face ain't that far from Roland Martin. Anyway.
trade, many Europeans realized that many African enslaved folk shared similar proportionate chubby to fat sizes that they considered desirable, specifically black women. So in a desperate attempt to essentially perpetuate racial inferiority, they decided to just switch up the whole narrative. And
it's the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. This is what I'm attracted to, but hey, those other people kind of look like that too, so let's just flip the script. It's like motherfuckers just so smart they're fucking stupid. And I'm gonna show you why they're stupid. And she's gonna show you why they're stupid, because there's a stupid book that all the fat girls are reading.
use science to back it up. This is what I mean when I
Science. She's hungry right now.
say it's never been about health. Also, I'm reading this book called Fearing the Black Body, where Sabrina Strings goes into detail about this, using multiple historical references. It's really good. I
just want to save this picture right here. Screenshot this for later. Just print screen that. Saying a whole bunch of nothing.
beg, please stop with the fat phobia.
Pull up in it.
Bro, this
Look, let me let niggas know, let me let fat folks know, let everybody know, right? Just because people have similar features, similar things, they don't have to agree with shit you fucking say. You can be fat and love fucking being fat. You can be fat and want to lose all the fucking weight in the world. You can be black and be the pro-blackest motherfucker in the world. You can be black and be a super coon. You can be black and hate niggas. I hate niggas. I hate 94.6% of niggas. Like, I do. It's just, it's the niggatry, right? Like, and I'm talking about, like, when I say niggas, I'm talking about, like, if you're like a passing grade nigga, if you like 78% or more. So, like, I hate 94.6% of 78% or more niggas. And that's not just black niggas, white niggas, Asian niggas, like all three of them, Mexican niggas, or Mexican niggas, all of them. Right. So like, don't, you just don't have to. And that's the problem. Like, everybody thinks because we look similar, we should agree on everything. Fuck you. Fuck you. Right. Because this bitch would bite my hand for the last fucking drumstick and a bucket of KFC. And KFC chicken ain't even that good. I couldn't tell you the last time I've had KFC chicken. But if I just wanted to just happen to come into the cookout and food went good, somebody brought an extra bucket of KFC, and I was reaching, this bitch would bite me for that. I see it. I see it in her eyes. I see it in people's soul. I'm a good reader of character. She's a biter. She's hungry right now. Anywho, next video. So that referenced that book. Let me bring this out. Now, told y'all all the big girls are reading this book. Again, I'm gonna give y'all some book game too. If you ever want to write a book, that's a bestseller, especially in this day and age. Like, writing a book that's a bestseller is like having a platinum album these days with streams. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give y'all a game in just a second.
Here's your reminder that fat phobia is rooted in racism. As always, if you haven't read this book, go do that. The main thing to understand is that for the last 300-ish years, white folks have been marketing fatness as a black trait. And this is regardless of whether or not black people individually were actually fat. That was irrelevant.
Now, she's saying something a little bit different than what the other person is saying, right?
The message they spread was that black women specifically were ravenous and uncontrollable, and these barbaric traits made them fat. On the flip side, thinness was marketed as a white trait. Again, regardless of whether or not individual white people were actually thin, that was irrelevant. The idea was that white women specifically were refined and restrained, and this led them to having delicate, thin bodies. Over the years, these messages have become more subtle, but even today, they are still very prevalent in conversations around race, health, capitalism, and poverty.
Capitalism. See, I be just sliding shit up in there. They just be sliding shit. Unique rides. My favorite New Yorker. Let me see. Adam Gontier, Shannon Jones, Irv Gotti, like Eggman, Giant Mess, Shonda Tony, lovely Miss Shonda Tony joining us. Jen, the lovely Miss Jen joining us this evening. If I missed you, I promise I ain't diss you. Oh, just check it out.
Here's your reminder that fat phobia is
Oh,
rooted
why
in
did it start over?
racism.
No, shut
As
up. I don't wanna
always,
yell. Let's just
the
get
message
to
they
the
spread was that black women
talking about
specifically were
traits.
ravenous and uncontrollable, and these barbaric traits made them fat. On the flip side, thinness was marketed as a white trait. Again, regardless of whether or not individual white people were actually thin, that was irrelevant. The idea was that white women specifically were refined and restrained, and this led them to having delicate, thin bodies. Over the years, these messages have become more subtle, but even today, they are still very prevalent in conversations around race, health, capitalism, and poverty. Here's your reminder that fat phobia is rooted
Wow.
in racism.
I might not have saved this might not have been the one. I might not have saved her video with the book. I might have had it wrong. Sometimes players fuck up. But I think she was actually on a different video where she was showing the fucking thing. Or I might have had the video wrong. But yeah, just like the other chick said, though, black phobia. I'm mad. I fried it. I had a whole point going there. It was gonna sound real good and shit. But the book game, right? This is the beauty of the internet, right? This is what a lot of people do. And I probably shouldn't give all the game because I should use it. But the internet is full of fucking echo chambers, right? Like this fat phobia shit. Like you could write a book under a pseudonym about something you do not even fucking believe in, right? Like you don't have to believe none of that shit. You could sell a big fucking wolf ticket, put that bitch on Amazon, let it be on Audible, let it be on any of these other little fucking things, and have a bunch of people quote unquote read it, download it, whatever, and it becomes a fucking bestseller, right? It's not like back in the day when motherfuckers actually like had to buy physical copies of books. So you can say pretty much any fucking thing and just find a group of people who believe all this shit and then fucking market it to them, put a pixel on that shit. Then the motherfucking man with a plan say anything. I mean anything except going on a diet and walking a few days a week. Yes. Little stuff, simple stuff. And I'm not saying, hey, you gotta do all this. I'm not saying, like, again, like I said, like, I don't mind a little meat on shit, right? But like when you make this your whole fucking identity, you're miserable. Like you're fucking miserable. It's very unfortunate, very sad. Let me make sure it was that chick. Maybe I'm being racist because I'm thinking all people look alike. Let's see. We got more tears. Some of these people are actually kind of funny. Oh, I got a crazy one. Oh, okay. Uh, I got a lot of crazy ones. Let's just fucking watch, bro.
What are some weirdly specific things that you consider to be red flags in men?
Men who are rude to fat women or traditionally unattractive women. Let me explain. As a fat woman, a lot of time, guys will come up to my friends and I and will flirt with my thinner friends.
So then that means they just came up to your friends and not you really. You just happen to be there, but carry on.
And that's fine. But the way that they interact with me tells me every single thing I need to know about them.
So let's judge people off of a small sample size. Me looking at this person tells me everything I need to know about them. Like me accidentally pausing this right here tells me that's her favorite facial pose. Probably for a multitude of reasons. Carry on.
If they acknowledge my presence, say hello, whatever, chill. But so many times, they won't even look me in the eye.
Maybe because you got all this shit on your fucking face. It's crazy fucking shit. You look like somebody's grandmother. Like, I don't know what's going on with the hair thing. We're like, she sounds really young. Got all, there you go, check the background. Black Lives Matter, all the fists, all this other shit, wokey woke shit. Yeah, I got all these Afro ladies in the background. She sounds young, looks very old. And the hair, that's definitely somebody. That's somebody's grandmother's wig. She went over to one of her friends and stole their grandmother's. She's a piece of shit. That's grandma's good Sunday wig right there. This woman is a piece of shit, right? And it's about, well, if they acknowledge me, they're cool. If they don't, then they're terrible people. Bitch, I didn't come here to holler at you. I didn't come here for your approval. Because what happens? I'm wasting my time speaking to you, and you're not my focal point. Spending all my energy in this direction. It's not my goal to give a fuck about the rest of the friends. Just because you're upset that you're the least attractive friend in the group and the dudes don't want to speak to you, they don't want to make eye contact, they're not worried to fuck about you. Right? So that makes them bad because they don't address you because you look like somebody's grandmother.
They will talk to my friends and pretend like I'm not there. And that immediately tells me that that person doesn't respect me.
You don't respect yourself. Let's just be honest about it. You don't respect yourself. You got all this weird shit going on. The shit you're doing, niggas is not into. One, you're obviously into black dudes because you got all of the shit going on in the background. Whatever. Niggas not into that weird shit. If your friends are more attractive, they're not concerned about you. They have absolutely no interest in you. And your grandmother's friends or your friend's grandmother's wig, you got the weird shit going on with the ring, some, I don't know, kind of goth weird shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on, right? Like, again, one of these pick a struggle type situations. It's not anybody's fault that they're not attracted to you. You chose to look that way. If it's not working for you, you cannot force someone into being attracted to something that they're not. And that's what a lot of these, as you'll see as some of these videos go on, a lot of people try to do. And it's not even just men. You'll see what I'm saying.
So men who don't respect women, they don't find fuckable, they don't respect women.
It's not true. It's not true at all. But generally, the first thing that catches your eye on a chick is if she's attractive, right? I don't think too many guys are going out of their way to interact with a chick that they don't find attractive. Like, what sparks it up? Like, what do men and women really have to talk about? Like, what is it that, like, there may be certain common things, right? Occasionally politics, but there's generally different sides of views on that. Sports, maybe. Most chicks aren't really like, and some chicks will pretend to be in sports, but a lot of them are not. Men and women don't tend to always watch the same types of movies. Like, so I'm not, and then even with all of this stuff, I'm not going to go out of my way to talk to you about that shit if I'm not attracted. Like, it's like me going to talk to some random, like, if I'm not attracted, like, wow, that's like me going to talk to some random dude's drug. Hey, bro, what's up? It's a nice shirt you got there. Where'd you get it? Even then, like, there's like a benefit for me because maybe I like the shirt. Maybe I want to get the shirt myself. Like, bro, we got this shirt. Like, if there's no reason to talk to you, and I don't like, and maybe I'm rude. I can be kind of antisocial at times. Like, but if I don't see a purpose in speaking to you, like, and again, it may be a selfish thing, but generally, if somebody doesn't know you, there usually has to be a reason for them to want to speak to you. And so, because you're mad because you're just the ugly friend in the group. But it gets worse. Just keep listening.
Like, straight up, they do not respect women. Because if they don't respect the women they're not attracted to, then they're just trying to be kind to you because they want to get into your pants. If you have a fat friend and she gets bad vibes from a guy, listen to her. She is right.
I need the most self-aggrandizing shit. Anywho, least fatphobic men black. Yes, Lockbird. You were right. And so that's the thing, right? It's called preference. I prefer not to spend $200 every time I go out with you on dinner and I only spend $25. Exactly. She's definitely going to she's tired of people being ignorant. They don't know poop about history. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's the crazy thing about TikTok. It's like people get to get on there and just say stuff. You just get to say stuff. And then like some people just, yeah. As long as they like resonate with that shit emotionally. And they'll just, yeah, you go, girl. and it's crazy stuff, man. It's super weird, right? Said maybe video about approaching a group of women and said, don't talk to the other girls in the group, just the one you like. Yeah. Like, what is the point? Right? Because here's the thing that women will do. Here's the thing like women will do. If you speak to multiple, it'll always be one, especially if it's one that doesn't get a lot of attention, who will mistake that little bit of attention and take it the wrong way. You like you said, you can say hi, how you doing or something like, and then folks like, and she'll spin it like, oh, he really wanted to talk to me. He just like women do these things in their head, like she just did. Like, you got a fat friend, listen to your fat friend. She knows, even though she's not, you know, bagging the dudes like you are, but she just knows. And don't get me wrong, like, sorry, I know there are some big girls out there who are, I don't know, man. I've seen some things in my life. There's just a constant situation, some weird stuff. Not me per se, just a thing that I've seen. And there was a big girl, and she was active, right? And so some of them are doing things, or niggas is desperate. I don't fucking know. But so it's not like, again, a big girl who carries herself a certain way, and she can have a certain, but like, those things can work for her. But nobody wants a big girl that whines and cries about everything. Just like, have some confidence in yourself. Like, if you know, you be on that shit. Like, how are you choosing? Yeah, I'm fat and I'm proud of it, but you're crying about it all day. Like, so in reality, you're not really happy about where you are. If you are where you are and you're making progress and you're happy about that, rock with that shit. If you are where you are and you're not doing anything about it, and then you're crying about it, well, society just needs to adjust to me. That's the most fucking selfish shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, the idea that certain people, certain groups want to change biology, because it's what it is, right? There are certain things that you see in an individual that you find attractive, and it's generally because of something in nature that makes that appeal to you, right? And we could like really get into it, I guess, when we talk about, women, and with women seeing men, and with men, seeing women. But you ask any of these big girls, I wish I had the other video where they asked all the big girls about how they were mad because they were getting depressed, and they were, oh, the dudes don't want to date me. I'll send him nudes, but he don't want to take me out in public, and all this other stuff. But then they asked them about dating big dudes, none of them, or what kind of guy they wanted. None of them said a big dude. Oh, he can't be big. He can't be like that. Logic right there eradicates any and everything you just said. Like, do you not get it? So you don't think the dude wants the same thing? I know we got a lot of folks in here listening to KS. A lot of women who call in and listen to KS. Oh, he's a piece of shit because he told her she was a big girl. But big women don't want big dudes. So you don't think it doesn't work the other way around? Right? Right? Just saying. Anywho. And again, and I say me, I can, I'm larger than your average man. So I can, accommodate certain things. But even with that, there are still limits, right? There's still a point where we got to say, pump the brakes. All right. So whatever. I guess I'll just go down the line in these videos. We'll just get what we get.
Skinny girls had their turn, and so did plus-size girls.
Herein lies the fundamental miscommunication about the body positive movement for both mid-sized and thin women. The fundamental misunderstanding being that thin people and mid-sized people think that the body positivity movement is about centering desirability and attractiveness. Like, everybody wants to feel attractive and feel beautiful and have validation and have attention. That's just a normal human thing that everybody wants, of course. But the point of the body positivity movement is to address real material discriminations that fat people face in society, like discrimination in employment and healthcare and media and their day-to-day interactions with like other people. It isn't about like taking turns.
Let me explain something, right? This is why all these bitches lie. You like, Honcho, somebody will come in here who ain't been in here months. Why she got to be a bitch? Because I said she was. Anyway, America's fat as fuck. Everybody in America's fat, right? I'm gonna tell you, as a fat ass myself, right? I told you I saw the scale and I was like, oh my god, it must be Halloween time. I'm in fear. Like, bro, we're all fat. Okay, some of us not. All right, and it was crazy because there was a video, I didn't save it though, but there was a dude who was like, he was like 6'6", $150, and he was just talking about how he's on the other side of the spectrum, And he's like, well, we both, you know, and he's just talking about it from like, and people coming there complaining, oh, he shouldn't be crying about not being able to gain weight and all this other stuff. Why isn't his dysmorphia or whatever the fuck you want to call it accepted, right? Because he wants to gain weight and he has trouble gaining weight because he has fast metabolism or whatever the fuck it is, right? And I think he said his BMI is like 17, which is, I forgot what it was, but it's where it's ranked. It was terrible. But people come in there hating on him because he took some other chick's video and he was like, shut the fuck up. And it was funny though, right? But again, I want to speak on this issue, but again, like I said, right now, everyday interactions with other fat Americans, really, job discrimination. What job is getting discriminated on for overweight people? I see it. Like I used to say, I never saw fat fire people. I saw some the other day. I saw a group of fat firemen coming out of a restaurant, and there was a woman in there. I'm like, who the fuck is she gonna save? Like, who is she gonna save? Like, I'll be damned if I live in an apartment building and I'm on a higher story up. Like, how is she gonna help? How's any fat fireman gonna help somebody like way up top, right? I mean, you got to be a badass. You got to climb the fucking ladder. I'm gonna be like, I'll wait for the next one. Take the cat. Like, I'm fat, you fat. How the fuck we gonna get out of here? Anywho, but again, what it is these people see their life through these lenses and they apply it to each and every one they meet because that's what they feel and that's what they see inside, right? And they've assigned themselves this fat identity, right? You don't have to be that. But the thing is, you're too lazy to change it. You choose not to change it. You love the food too much. I'm telling you from a large and in charge gentleman myself, right? The food is good to me, okay? I wake up with crumbs in the bed. It's good to me. But just say that because that's the only way you do these things is if you're eating more than you're burning. It's it. That's, and again, on the very rare occasion where a medical, some type of prescription or something is causing you, dietary issues. But for the most part, the majority of it, everybody in America ain't got, we might all be on prescriptions, but it's not fucking because we're taking medication that's making us fat. Like everybody loves, what if you don't know? She's on some medication and it made her that way. Okay, cool. Well, what about the rest of the 70 fucking percent of the country that's fucking overweight, right? What about like the 35% that's fucking obese? Like, we're all fucking fat. The majority's fat. So like, how is there all of a sudden fat phobia? I blame the homophobia shit, right? Because once y'all accepted homophobia as a thing, as a real thing, y'all start saying people are scared of gay people. Like everybody just started making transphobia, lesbophobia, fat phobia, blackophobia. Like, I just started taking the phobias, and I thought this shit was like a fear. Y'all just call it, now y'all calling it hate, like you changing different words adjust. Words adjust with time, and so we have new meanings. A phobia is no longer just a fear. It's when you hate on somebody. Shut the fuck up. Right? I don't hate spiders. I just don't fuck with them niggas. I ain't fuck with 8 legs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't fucking with spider, but spider got the red fucking shit on his back. It's an all black spider, not because it's a nigger spider. It's the black spider with the red dot, just not because he a blood, not because he banging. And he might be a black widow. I'm gonna stomp that motherfucker out. You can get jumped in, cuz, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna stomp that motherfucker out because I look, hey, I don't want to get bit. Right? Right? It's a little bit of a trade-off. Hey, nature, we cool. But spider don't belong in the house. Spider gotta get stomped out. Spider don't belong on a porch. Gotta get stomped out. You can be like, have a web in the corner, like a gate or some shit. Cool. But this shit right here, like all these phobias, all this shit that everybody fucking cries about, like, it's all bullshit. American got super pussy. Anyway.
To see who can be like the ideal of desirability and attractiveness in society. It's about addressing systemic oppression and prejudice within society toward fat bodies.
Skinny girls had their turn, and so did plus-size girls.
Did y'all know that mid-size is a thing now? This person, let me be honest with y'all too, like, let's keep it 1,000. Every person that we have seen has been relatively unattractive. They opted out. You know what I'm saying? That one chick might have been all right if she, slimmed down a little bit. But for the most part, all these women have been not what you would say ideal, not what you would say Instagram models, not what you would say you want to see in your favorite rapper's music video, because they chose to opt out. They chose to opt out early on because they were smarter than everybody, not because I just don't want to be objectified in such a manner. Yeah, they do. All women want to be objectified. Like, don't let them lie to you. Don't let them lie to you. Because the women that are being objectified, you don't see them complain about this shit. Right? And no, I hadn't caught up on the Sage Steele or the Barry Washington. I hadn't seen anyone. But like I said, we are beautiful. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, bro, DeWanda Willis so crazy for the left response to the close. Oh, I heard people been going. I haven't watched it yet. I want to watch it first before I need to watch it because I learned a new word. I like it, turf. And then I stumbled across a new channel today. I can't remember the name of it. I think I subscribed to it. But this guy, he was like out in New York just talking to people and just letting people say things. And you let people say things long enough, they're gonna say something crazy. I do it all the time. But yeah. But systemic, we're all fat. We've all gotten fatter. Well, that's the systemic problem. The systemic is the food. The food is systemic. The fucking food. You got fatter. This shit ain't even real food. These are food products that they got us. That's the systemic. Like, it ain't systemic shit if you choose to fucking do it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's the prejudice against fat. Like, you chose that. You chose it. Like, come on, man. And again, and people who do that to their kids, who do that to their children, like, if your child is 4 or 5 years old and got a pot belly, right? That is not a child because they're not experiencing the real joys of childhood. They're not getting to run around, they're not getting to play, they're not getting to do the things that you do only in that specific time of life, which is having high energy and being a child. If your child is not enjoying these things, that's going to translate into being a miserable teenager into a miserable adult, right? I don't care what anybody says or anybody feels. That's what's going to happen. It's not cute. It's not appealing. It's not nothing good about it. You're limited. I've seen now, we know Mexicans are known for keeping their kids in the stroller a little bit longer than everybody else. All right. And then they fucking take them straight out the stroller, straight to the fucking fence. Get the fucking building that fence essay. But I saw the fattest kid I've ever seen in a stroller. I've seen kids that are way too old to be in strollers before. This child had to still be a top. I know for a fact this child was around I'm learning to walk age, right? Or right around that should be able to probably walk or recently learned within the last few months. And I know for a fact that kid couldn't walk. Because it was the fattest toddler I've ever fucking. It's the fattest kid I've ever seen. Like, as far as the baby kid thing, right? And I'm just like, I'm looking at the mom. The mom was slim, right? The mom was something's like, you're spoiling these kids. Like, there's two things I hate. If your kid can't fucking speak and you putting a fucking phone in his hand, I seen a fucking lady with a baby the other day, baby in a fucking thing. Baby is incapable of speaking. Can use a fucking phone. That's why I say these things are fucking dangerous. Like, it's not that your kid, oh, look how smart your kid is. They know how to use the phone. Oh, that's what it's designed for. Nincompoop. The fucking kid is on YouTube, don't know what the fuck is going on, don't understand none of this shit, but knows how to use it. That's fucking crazy. One, shout out to the UI designers because that's excellent. But the fact that you're allowing this to happen to your child is terrible. It's a fucking terrible, terrible thing, man. That stroller is a fucking 4x4. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Of course, it was in Walmart. But yeah, so like, yeah, it's terrible. But look, this person's oppressed, systemic, got what do y'all call them? Shit, Apple Pods, iPod, Apple Buds, whatever. They suck. It's Apple. I mean, it's no Samsung, but whatever y'all want to put apples in your ears. And then again, you see a lot of them, nose piercings, and other odd things. I told you the nose piercing shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't do nothing but smoke weed and eat snacks all day and complain about her fucking life. It's systemic. Shit, roll that system up. That's all. I'm just like, and complain instead of doing shit. That's the beautiful thing about being a human being is that you don't have to remain the way you are in any form or fashion. You don't have to always be stupid. You can educate yourself. You don't have to be skinny. You can, lift weights, gain muscle. You don't have to be fat. You can lose fucking weight. That's the beauty of being a human being. But see, now we're to the point where people just want to talk about shit. Nobody wants to do any fucking thing.
The fundamental miscommunication about the body positive movement.
I'm just using the word. Look at it, bitch. High. The fundamental miscommunication. Fundamental nothing. The body positive movement is I need reinforcement for my poor lifestyle choices. Don't criticize me, congratulate me for doing something that anybody can do. Yes, we live in a day and age where with the marketing, the way stores are designed, everything, we know that that's the point, is to sell you things, right? So having the discipline to either not consume these things and maintain a healthy body weight, or having the discipline to burn off these things and, have a nice shape or be in shape or something. That's the commendable thing, because that means you're putting in the extra work to maintain. I just eat a bunch of shit and don't tell me nothing about it. There's nothing commendable about it. You just don't want to hear about your mistakes. And that's the problem. Like there's no shame anymore. There's no, hey, that's not a good idea. And it's not even that people are shaming, because like I said, everybody's fucking fat. But the person, they did 100 push-ups today on Instagram, they're shaming, they're push-up shaming. Like, this is where we are. I don't want to watch this chick again. Let's get to the next video. Is this the one?
Hey, if you've had pretty privilege like your whole life, can you stitch this and...
Okay, but yes. So I work in the service industry, right? I'm a bartender. And if you were unaware, the way you look influences it a lot. Whether that's tips or how people treat you, it just does. And when I tell you that my whole life changed when I started getting help for my eating disorder, which resulted in weight gain after the pandemic, I really didn't expect this to make me cry, but people don't even look you in the eye anymore. They're not nice to you, especially men. Like I would walk up and say, hey, how's it going? How are you? And I used to get, I'm doing really great, honey. How are you? Now it's a little more like, hey, how's it going? What can I get? 2 Coors Lights and a Bud Light. And for people saying that doesn't actually happen, please raise your hand if you would willingly like to live as a fat person. And the fact that no one raises their hand makes the point. And it just makes you feel hopeless. Like,
what point was made? One, yeah, let me record this video. Oh, nobody raised their hand, even though I'm here with just my fucking kid. My kid didn't raise his hand. See, his damn kid didn't raise his hand. Nobody wants. You're preaching this message to all these people who are angry about fat phobia and discrimination. Obviously, they're embracing being fat, right? So, wow, I get some very interesting video pauses, right? This is a crazy screen right here. And obviously, they're embracing it. Obviously, they're living their life. But that's the thing. When those people finally reach that point, they say, all right, this is it. This is enough. And they go on, they lose the weight, whether they get the surgery, whether they get whatever. And there's people who say, oh, if you lose weight, you want to actively lose weight, you're fat phobic. Remember the Australian chick video we watched the other day? Like, it's crazy to hear these things. Hey, it's not about, people say, oh, well, just because you're skinny, it doesn't mean you're healthy. That's a goofy ass talking point. Like, no shit, right? Because I told you I used to associate skinny with AIDS. Like, that's my big thing. That was like when I was young, skinny. If she's too skinny, she's got fucking AIDS. I believe that about everything. Now you can't say, well, they probably got AIDS. Oh, you're a terrible person. You end up like fucking what's his name? You can't say these days that I would not like to engage in intercourse with someone who has sexually transmitted diseases. You're a bad person for saying that these days. You know that? Like you can't even say that these days. This is where we are. You're judging them and you're like, look, I get it. I get it. Sometimes when people bring shit home that are in committed relationships, they pass it on. That's unfortunate. I don't think that's where the majority of it happens. But if somebody knowingly knows that they're in a situation where they have something and they deliberately go on and just try to give it to somebody who doesn't have to make their life that much more inconvenient, you're a piece of shit. You can't say that anymore. Like, what is it in Cali where they don't have to tell? Like, no, no, no. Never engage with a recent Cali transplant. They're scumbags. You can't do that shit out of here. And that's a bad thing. But anyway, I don't know how I got way off on that tangent about STDs and shit. But you can't say anything they like. If I don't want to be obese, I feel more comfortable having a better quality of life. Then let me get to the clothes thing in a second. You know, I want to have a variety of options. I don't want to pay as much for my clothes. I want to live an active lifestyle. I want to be functional. I want to have, functional strength. I want to be able to, pull myself up in a tree or some shit. I don't fucking know, right? No, that's for the fat kids. But again, you can't say any of these things, right? But I got a fat privilege, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. But you see how unhappy she is. She had a quote unquote eating disorder. Now she's gained weight for it. She's miserable, right? And that's what's going on with a lot of the rest of these other women. When you're going the opposite direction, when you're going from here to gaining, they become miserable. When you see them go from big to losing, and I tell you the before and after Transformation Tuesdays, you can just go get on Instagram for like one time for the one time wherever Lady Licious is, and just look up Transformation Tuesday pictures and see from big to small and how happy the motherfuckers look. Like, look at the workouts. Like, see the workouts. But it was a dude, I think he was close to 5 and he was going there working out every day. And he was like barely able to get in. And after a couple of months, he was able to do more. And like people were, motivated and inspired. Like, and he got in super great shape. That is respect. Those are the people who need the cheering, the motivation, the appreciation, doing the hard work. Nowadays, doing the hard work is frowned upon. You're a bad person for working hard and shaming the lazy asses.
Am I ever going to be worth more than my looks?
Hey.
No. Next video. Again, you got to get into an industry where your brains matter more than your looks. And then maybe you don't have that complaint, but you are a bartender where you know that those things, I guarantee she never complained about that ever before. And that was never an issue. She was slim or small or whatever, and the tips were rolling in and they were paying attention. But another thing that you have to take into account too, especially after the pandemic, is that people's social skills have diminished. And depending on where she is in the country, if she's not in the South, where we all have Southern hospitality, we put respect first. All right, we put respect on everything. But depending on where she is in the country, might already be dealing with rude piece of shit people. A lot of people, I've seen it for myself, people who choose to wear face coverings versus those who don't. People who don't wear face covering are much nicer. Like, when you see faces, you see expressions, people react to that much different. Like, I'm telling you, I've seen some of the other day, I was dashing and I was at a Chick-fil-A. I've never wanted to accost anybody at a Chick. Small little white lady, fucking mask face. It was a lady who came out, no mask, Hispanic lady. She was holding the door to, I had a couple, it wasn't like the little Denny's bitch. But like, she like tried to like cut through and like just being fucking rude. Like, I wanted to take my hand and just like big face that bitch. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You got multiple groups of people like kind of coming in and out and you just trying to barge your way around. But again, all those groups of people, maybe she was intimidated. Maybe she didn't want to get the Rona because there was a bunch of people who weren't wearing masks, right? But if that was the case, sit your ass there until everybody else gets out, then you move. But anywho, you're like, uh-oh, Honcho's over there talking about abusing women again. Every now and then.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say that people hate fat people a lot. And the reason why this hurts me...
Not true. Everybody's fat.
And I'm showing that it does is because eating disorders literally hurt so many people. And fatspo, for those who don't know, is when people with eating disorders post people who are fat and use them to fuel their restrictive eating disorder. But, like, I saw that. I'm a real person. I see my notifications, and you are vile and disgusting. Because while you might not want to look like me, I'm actually pretty happy with myself, so.
Why do I have a hard time believing that? A very hard time believing that. Anyway, we'll carry on.
I don't like to post myself like this, but I'm just so upset and mad, and I want you to do better.
Do we got fake eyelashes going on here? What these eyebrows are. We got multiple piercings, face, nose, and all that. I want y'all to look at this thing right here. Right? I'm pretty happy with myself. I'm generally pretty happy with myself. Right? So I halfway blared that out. Does this look like a person who's pretty happy with themselves? Just look at the picture. I mean, these are pictures you're posting out for the world to see, right? I'm about to start spiraling. I'm laughing so hard. I don't see a laugh. And like this is the point where the show gets all serious. I see a hurt woman inside. She's not happy. That's a lie. Where's the laughing? Where's the chuckling? This seems like a forced smile. This is I don't know what to do with myself picture on this side with the chunking up the deuce. And if that's an issue with a 2X, maybe it's not the 2X shirt is the problem, right? Maybe. There's another thing to consider. This is a very unhappy individual. And it's sad because people force themselves into believing that this is it when you have a million fucking options, just a little bit of discipline. Like, I'm bigger than I'm supposed to be. I'm just I gotta embrace this. It's just me. No, honestly, you should be ashamed of yourself. I can pinpoint the sloppy behavior that got me here, right? Because when I don't do that, I fucking drop weight ridiculously. When I put in the work, it's nothing. When I get lazy, get mad, like I said, I haven't been to the gym like 3 weeks because I got mad the last time I went. It was too fucking crowded. So now, starting small, I gotta go put the fucking shit together. Just investing in some fucking home gym equipment. I gotta clean the fucking garage out. I gotta put the shelves back up. And then once I clean out that motherfucker, which I'm probably gonna be doing tomorrow, because like I said, it's got to the point of ridiculousness. And start putting up my own personal equipment, start working out at fucking home. There's no reason not to. Because then I think about it, right? Gym's like 15 minutes away. So if you go 4 or 5 times a week, let's say I go 4 times a week. 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back. It's like 30 minutes a day. 4 times a week, 2 hours. 5 times a week, 2.5 hours. So you take that fucking 2 hours a fucking week and you do that bitch by a month, fucking wasted, 8 hours? I'm sorry, 8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours, 2 hours a week. Yeah, I'm doing some math here, right? You continue to add that up, shit, but throughout the year, you didn't wasted 3 or 4 days just driving back and forth, right? So it makes more sense to just have some shit at home and actually use it. So, but sad woman, she's faking the funk to try to make people feel like she's okay. She's not okay. And I feel bad for her, honestly, because, they feel like they got to put up the front in solidarity with the other women who are putting up this front, right? Oh, this is the chick that complains a lot. She gets on my nerves. Let me watch one of her videos, mix it up.
Y'all remember when people got upset that I put 3 scrambled eggs instead of 2 into my breakfast hash that I ate? And people went wild about it? Thin privilege, fat phobia, you're welcome. Y'all remember when people got upset that I put 3 scrambled eggs instead of 2 into my breakfast hash that I ate? And people went wild about it? Thin privilege, fat phobia, you're welcome. Y'all remember when...
It is what it is, you know. One person looks like they engage in that behavior on a regular basis. The other person doesn't. Obviously, there's something going on the right side that is allowing that. She may have a super fast potential. She might be puking that shit up after she might be puking up after every fucking burger, like rotting her shit out, right? Who fucking knows? But on one side, it looks like it's retaining. People are going to respond to how they see things. It just is what it is. If you know that you are a certain side and you're putting yourself out there like that, well, that's what it's going to look like. And then why are you complaining? Like, if you didn't like it, you didn't like the fact, then fuck it. Don't do it again. If you were happy with what you did, then fucking put it out there. Like, and I don't think you're that popular for me to know whether you did or didn't do something. But I'm not on TikTok like that. So maybe she is. Who knows? Let's see. All right, how about this? I'm going to play a game. Would you like to play a game? It'll be a fun game. Oh, yeah, I'm missing the best part of the game. Hold on. God damn it.
Now that I have your attention with that video, I would like to play a game of Spot the Difference. The video you just saw.
Yeah. These fake eyelashes. I don't know. We got the cut going on in this one. Multiple nose piercings, multiple colored hair.
Now that I have your attention with that video, I would like to play a game of Spot the Difference. The video you just saw versus this one that I'm about to show you a screenshot of. In this video, she's doing the same exact trend. What's the difference? Both wearing shorts. What's the difference? You know the difference. I know the difference. Want to tell me why I was shown this notification? I was scrolling through my For You page and I came across that video. Do you think this video is appropriate for younger users 13 to 17? Yes, I do. Not showing them that video and showing them this notification is inappropriate. You're telling them that their bodies, if they're larger, are inherently sexual and inappropriate. That's the harmful message. Stop it with this fat phobia. I am so tired of this.
So wouldn't that be like what you want to achieve? You want to be appreciated that bigger bodies are just as sexy? Is that what you're saying? But y'all notice something, right? What do y'all, let's play Spot the Difference. What do y'all notice in the difference between the first video and the second video? Right? And see, this is what I say. This is how they identify everything. It's plus size edition, body positive. It's like, if you are happy in your own skin, you ain't got to point out to the whole world that everything you do, that you're big. Just be you. Just be you. There's nobody on there who's super fit, so super skinny edition, super slim fit 6-pack edition. Like, you know, like a fitness channel, then maybe, yeah. But I'm doing regular things that everybody other normal human beings are doing. Plus size, body positivity, fat girl TikTok. Like, you're advertising the shit because you get people to pay attention to you when you talk about it. Again, no, Shelly, shut your ass. But now, I want y'all to, I'm going to bring it back. Notice the difference.
App shaming large bodies. I'm done. This is stupid.
She put it back on TikTok.
Now that
And that chick's not the skinniest chick ever. She got a little overlap going on, a little bit. It's not like, oh, super slim. That's what I guess they call mid-size.
Now that I have your attention with that video, I would like to play a game of Spot the Difference. The video you just saw versus this one that I'm about to show you a screenshot of.
Y'all notice the additional differences? There are multiple differences in this, in these two, right? I'll point out a couple of things. One, she's wearing a much more revealing shirt than the other one, right? There's some other stuff going on. Some very strong ankles. Now see what she didn't do, which I wish she would have. She can't see the number. Let you know she probably had to work very hard to go find another video like this to make her point, right? Because this other chick that she shows.
Now that I have your attention with that video,
shut up.
I would like to play a game of Spot the Difference. The video you just saw versus this one that I'm about to show you a screenshot of.
Again, motherfuckers ain't got nothing to do but fucking play. Now, like I said, the other chick had on long sleeves over it. So I would say that, you know, a lot of this is either machine learning, AI type shit going on, trying to determine, you know, what's going on in these videos. Again, this one may seem more sexual because to a machine, AI, maybe the pinker shirt looks closer to her skin tone. She already isn't, she's wearing not wearing a longer sleeve black shirt. That's a lot more contrast, a lot more flesh being shown, right? This face that she's making doesn't make her seem like she's very confident. I wish she'd have played this video. Why play the other video, but not play this video, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why there's some deception into the point, because there may be a lot more other things going on with this video as compared to the other one. You only showed a glimpse of the other video, and you only showed screenshots from this one. So there may be a huge difference. No pun intended. This motherfucker here got what? 30,000 loves. I don't know what they call it. I don't know if they call them likes or whatever on the TikTok. So you sitting here complaining because there's a fucking notification and you think that this is appropriate for 13 to 17-year-olds. You're fucking stupid, period. Neither one of those videos, even though I'm pretty sure there are 13 to 17-year-olds watching them, I don't think either one of those videos should be recommended to 13 to 17-year-olds, right? It is what it is. I was going to make a joke. I don't know any 13-year-old that's that strong. Anyway, next video. See, people are just looking for stuff to complain about.
I don't get it. That's because it's not for you. Because you have everything. Everything is for you. And this one thing is for him.
So, I think Old Navy is genius, right? Because emotional people don't understand standard economics, right? Size, equality, price equality. So we talked about is that bigger clothes tend to cost more money. Well, you know what? We're going to charge the same for all the clothes. This is genius. This is genius. We're going to charge everybody high fucking prices for the clothes. So now we're going to make more money on the clothes that we normally might have charged, you know, $3 or $4 less for. We're just going to jack those prices up so that everybody pays the same, so that the big girls don't feel bad. And now we look woke and we don't go broke. We make more fucking money because you think that they're going to lose money making bigger. Fuck no. Their job is to stay in business, not to keep you happy for your poor decisions, right? So it's just like, it's crazy, right? I'm laughing at Jim. Shelly, shut your legs, right? I'm just mad because that old snapper can't do that. Jealousy doesn't look good on you, Shelly. Sad. Rebel Wilson lost 60 pounds, 17. That's why the first video we watched, the chick was mad. I don't like Rebel Wilson anymore. She lost a bunch of weight. Oh, let me do this so I can continue talking about these videos. Hold on.
I don't get it. That's because it's not for you. Because you have everything. Everything is for you. And this one thing is for him. I don't get it. That's because it's not for you. Because you have everything. Everything is for you. And this one thing is for him. I don't get it. That's because it's not for you.
Because it's not fun.
Because you have everything. Everything is.
That's not. But again, like I said, so genius marketing, right? Yeah, we can tell them we care about everybody equally. We all charge them high fucking prices. But, people don't think about things like that. This is, hold on, we'll do this. Okay. Dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Yeah. So here's one we watched before a while back, but I wanted to bring this one back because I found it particularly interesting for tonight's topic.
So, as a fat person, I often dread medical appointments because of blatant medical fat phobia.
Instead of, want to be told the truth about issues and things they're facing, they'd rather be lied to. And it's the fault of the system. It's the system's fault. The thing that they cannot pinpoint, a thing that they cannot truly identify. It's just the system. It's just this widespread thing that we have no evidence of, that we can't prove, other than we don't like how it makes us feel.
The last OB appointment I went to, the provider blamed everything on my weight and told me that I needed to go on a medication that made me feel really terrible.
Pointed out my weight and told me I needed to go on medication. And that made me feel terrible, right? Not that, hey, this was advice. You know who feels terrible? Somebody when they're told that you got cancer. Well, I see it on the chart, but I want a second opinion. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Don't tell me this. Right? Somebody was told they have one of those dangerous STDs and they have to take pills for the rest of their life to manage it. Doesn't feel good. Right? People who may have just had a miscarriage. Right? Doesn't feel good to hear any of these things. Depending on what type of person you are. But it doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't mean that it doesn't impact your health. It doesn't mean that these things could not potentially be, life altering one way or the other. Or things I mentioned are, but because it didn't make you feel good, obviously that's fat phobia. Because someone told you, hey, you're not healthy. And again, there are people who are big, who are active, and all this. You can obviously tell this person is not big and or active. Or is not, not big and active. They are big, not active, right? Nobody's face is naturally like that. And then the haircut does not fucking help at all. But that's not natural. No, again, like I said, I like to look at things. If we took away all the technology, right? And we just talked about having to survive off the land and having to, say you had to hunt or do whatever, right? Well, motherfucker ain't hunting shit. I know you say, well, Honcho, traditionally, the women didn't do the hunting, the men did, and they brought it back to me. Okay, cool. What man is bringing her back? He's going to have to do a month worth of hunting, right? He's going to have to, she's going to get the whole buffalo to her goddamn self. Nobody would sustain, nobody would look like this, right? This is not natural. Okay. You may have some people who are a little bit more structured than others. You may have people who may be more muscular, depending on, what they bring to it. But this right here would not be sustainable in nature. One, you're susceptible to predators. You know what I mean? Again, the resources that you're going to take up compared to everybody else. That's the thing is people have gotten so comfortable being over here safe in America, that they have to make up problems. We have what they call first world problems. And, I don't like the way the truth makes me feel. So I'd rather wallow in lies and misinformation, medical misinformation. and this is what it is. Like, it's crazy. Like, people do not want to accept reality. You get up every day, look in the mirror, and know that you are not happy. And you can say, well, I don't look like you're not happy with yourself, regardless, comparing yourself to anything. Just looking at you're not happy. If you got to do all this to see your hoo-ha, then you're probably out of whack, right? The same if you're a dude. The funny thing is, you don't see dudes complain about this type of shit, right? Even though fat women will blatantly come out and say, nah, we don't want no big dudes, even though we're big as shit. You don't see dudes complain about that shit.
This OB appointment that I just went to, I've been dreading, and the provider was amazing. She asked me what my pronouns are. She asked me about my name. She made me feel super comfortable, asked me about my trauma history so that she knew how to touch me in ways that were not harmful.
The lovely Miss Sarah Lynn. Like, when you got flesh starting to overlap your eyes, that's not a good thing. It's not normal.
She just was like, great. And I was crying before getting my blood drawn because I just never have good experiences with medical providers. And so, I don't know, I just wanted to share, like, some experiences can be good, and, like, don't be afraid to go when, yeah.
They have nothing to say. Don't be afraid to go in. Look at this, bro. There's nothing you can say about this. Just the head shape. One, terrible haircut. But two, the neck. Look at this. It's sad. It's not even. There's nothing funny about it. It's miserable inside. Look at it, like, just in a resting face after saying all this other stuff. You were just talking about how happy your experience was, but this is where you're at. This is the face that you end the conversation with. This is your normal. This is misery. It's misery right here. It's unhappiness. I feel bad for these people because they lie to themselves. People would rather believe the fucking lie than go get help and make it make a better life a reality. It takes time. It's a process, but the payoff, it's so much more worth it. I really do feel sad for a lot of people. Because then, like I said, they embrace the big fucking identity. This is how they embrace themselves. So they identify. She's back.
Guys, do you remember the time when I posted an almost identical video to this? But I was told that I should avoid potatoes. I was given unwanted and unsolicited health advice when I was minding my own business, just making a cooking video. But I was told that I needed to avoid potatoes. Do you remember that? Do you remember how fat people and thin people are not allowed to exist in the same way on the internet? You remember that? Again, no hate to this guy. I have no issue with him, and I don't hate him. I'm also not mad at him either. I am using his video as an example to compare how thin people and fat people are not treated the same way. So, guys, do you remember the time when I posted an almost identical video to this?
I wonder if that's what she does in all her videos. Remember when I did this? What do they get to do and I don't? Every time I posted a video dancing, somebody else posted a video dancing. They got like 1 million likes and I did. Shut up. All right. We're not quite at the final countdown. I think we got 2 more. And it's been very interesting. I don't remember if this is it, or I'll save this one for last. For some reason, I feel like, or did we watch this one? Oh no, we'll do this one.
Okay, no, like, let's have this conversation because, like, as a fat femme who has been out.
Be honest. Most fam looking fam you've ever seen.
Most of my life, I'm turning 30 in January, and I.
Oh, 30. You've been through some shit. You are fucking rough fucking 30.
I came out around 16, 17. Tried to come out whenever I was like 12 because I knew. And my mom freaked the fuck out. So went back into the closet for a few more years. But I'm just gonna say this, and it's probably gonna piss off a few people, but a lot of queer people mirror how cis men treat fat femmes.
Maybe, just maybe, it's nature. Maybe it's biology. Maybe it's human nature. Instead of trying to get mad at people for living out how they feel, either you roll with it how you are and take the options that you have, or you make the necessary adjustments to open up the available options that you have. Because complaining about it ain't gonna make nobody fucking change. The only thing complaining is gonna do is make people not speak out. And one, people don't even say shit in public anymore because they're all afraid of fucking get canceled. They're just gonna go talk behind closed doors, or they're just gonna give you a fake reasons as to why they don't want to necessarily deal with you, right? And so it's gonna be disingenuous.
The queer community, and y'all don't want to work through your fat phobia.
Y'all have the problem, not me. It's not me. It's you. You guys have a problem. I'm perfectly fine not being as normal as everybody else. It's just so y'all have the problem.
And matter of fact, y'all will deny it.
Because you can't be honest with people these days. Of course, people are going to deny it. They don't want the problem to go, see that person there, fat folk. Like, what are you talking about? I'm just not interested. I'd rather not. That's not what I'm into. Well, you're a piece of shit because you don't like my life choices. That's where we're like, we need, well, not we, but people seek other people's validation for the decision they make. And then when people don't offer that validation, all of a sudden those people are the problem.
And treat us like shit. Because I've had it happen multiple times. Multiple motherfucking times. And I know I'm not the only one because my comment sections are always filled. You want me? No. You want me? No. Okay.
Like such a weird place. All right, to the last one. Let's enjoy.
See, this is a really interesting comment because I know the commenter didn't think about really what he was saying. He just wanted to leave a hate comment, which is fine. But my question is, why is being unhealthy a bad thing? First of all, obviously not all fat.
What? I don't think I watched this one. Why is being unhealthy a bad thing? Craziness. It's all illusion. What's the motherfucking deal? Do I have the dilly dally on? Oh, I forgot to do it earlier. I've been trying it. I haven't been slacking. Oh, I ain't even got my shit together. Oh, I think I moved my audio. That's why. Oh, yeah. I gotta fix that. All right. So we've been watching a lot of fat phobic videos today. We're gonna unpack this fat phobia. We're not gonna allow it. We're fixing all the problems that are going. Is this the same chick who stole her mom's wig the other day? I don't know. But yeah, look at the name, Fat Fab Feminist. Like, this is how you're associating. I think this is the same one. This is the same one. Like, you got like a Jerry curl thing going. That's why people ain't looking you in the eye. That's why ain't nobody tell you. Yeah, it's definitely her, because I see in that little circle picture. That's why nobody is. You're problematic. You're annoying. And like most feminists are annoying shit. So if a dude go try to house some chick, they got feminists, they're like, nobody wants to talk to them motherfuckers. So then you're like, pushing like your fat issues on everybody. They didn't look me in the eye. It's because I'm fat. No, it's because you're fucking annoying. You probably talk too much. There's definitely a person who talks too much. Like when nobody wants to talk to her. Appreciate the love. It's all illusion.
People are unhealthy, but let's say they were. What is the moral issue with being unhealthy? Why does that make you a bad person?
I guarantee this person is a pro-pope pusher. Guarantee it.
Because that's where we get to the core of fat phobia, right? There is a moral assignment with the idea of being fat, whereas we associate fitness with good and fat with bad. But why is that? Why do you think being unhealthy and being fat is bad? There needs to be
super simple quality of life. I've answered that multiple times. It's quality of life. You are limited in your capabilities when you are larger. If this was not true, you'd see quote unquote obese. You see obese track star. Where do you see obese people thrive? In the fucking shot put. That's it. They take that momentum, they start spinning that shit around, and they push that shit off. That's it. And otherwise, you don't see them on track and field. You don't see them in most sports. You can talk about like offensive linemen, but like even the offensive lineman has changed. You know, a lot of them dudes are big, just wide, but they're just big dudes. You know what I'm saying? It's not obesity. It's not a lot of fat. They're just large dudes, right? You got a couple of motherfuckers on the D line who you could probably say, yeah, but those are some of the most active motherfuckers you ever gonna see. But for the most part, I don't see super fat basketball players. Even Shaq, when he got bigger, was definitely way less athletic, and they just let him get away with a lot of shoulder nudging and pushing off. Who was it? Big baby, goofy ass. Zion got big and then blew out a shoe. Like, there are limitations, right? And just, you know, everybody, like I'm telling myself, like from the weight gain I've had, there's a huge difference on your legs, knees, your quality of sleep, just everything. You know what I'm saying? Being plus size, being larger, obese, whatever you want to call it. So not anyway, your body was not designed to carry that type of shit. Some cultures, maybe a little bit more so than them, what do they call them? Samoans, Pacific Islanders, whatever you call it. That's just a different breed of animal, right? But for the most part, you're not designed to do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why chairs are the size that they are. It's not because there's fat phobia. It's because the average person's about yay wide. This is what accommodates the average individual. If people made seats on planes to fit, like say, like this woman here, airplane travel would not be profitable. Therefore, airlines would not make money, and they'd all be shut down. Or they'd have to charge so much. Flying would be so expensive that more people would probably drive. All cars would have to have bench seats, right? Like if you've seen somebody get into a vehicle and the vehicle drops down, it's not normal, right? It's not like you can justify it, you can validate it all you want to. And instead of dealing with the torment that you're feeling inside, you want to externalize it and blame everybody else and literally say, why is being unhealthy bad? Because it means less of a quality of life and it means a shortened lifespan. But you're so smart, you're fucking stupid that you need somebody to quote unquote explain why. It is what it is. Okay. So therefore, there is that. Delta, you say you ran D the Gamma, you said you ran track in high school. You said I came for a 10-pound baby for my whole life, small as 190, junior high, my biggest 418, currently 290, fluctuating live Delta where it counts. Okay, in 190, what was that? Was that in high school? Or how big were you when you ran track in high school? And how many medals did you win? No, you could not make nutty professional. Absolutely could not make nutty professional. The line, who was that? Dave Chappelle said, who's sucking who titties over here? No. You could not make that. Absolutely not. Now, would you call Serena Williams one? I have a hard time believe she's 225, but even if she is 225, would you call her obese? Right? You're telling me that you would put this woman in the same weight class as Serena Williams? But I mean, but you said you ran track. So did you actually compete in track or did you go out for track? I'm curious. But I got a couple other things to show you real quick. And I know I've been talking for a long, long time. I think what time is it? It's almost midnight. I want to play some more Far Cry. I haven't played since I played a couple of days ago. So I'm still early on into it. Serena Williams playing weight is 159. Heidi, you just hate black women. That's all it is. Well, you're a terrible person, Heidi. There was that one white dude in Texas. I wonder whatever happened to him. I wonder whatever happened to him. Because he was cold. That was a couple of years. Muscle weighs more than fat, Heidi. You wouldn't know anything about that on either side. But again, okay, and even if that is the truth, he's at Georgia. Okay, even if that is true, Miss Dita Gamma, that is an anomaly because what do you see? Most of these track runners, skinny, anorexia, small, especially the women, and then like now you'll see them with maybe bigger thighs. You know what I'm saying? More muscular thighs. But who is everybody's favorite to carry? The champions, the people that you know that are legendary. What do they look like? That's what I'm saying. Like that's a rare. There's always an outlier. There's always, an exception to the rule. But you say he's good enough for NCAA final, not gonna win though. Well, you ain't big bone, need to leave that Mickey D's alone. Sha'Carri on vacation. Sha'Carri ain't done. It's a wrap. No diamond races for you. I don't think you got enough points to stay. But again, like I said, and this is not me picking and choosing again. It's just we see it, right? We see it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what would you say when you're talking about greatest athletes of all time? Who's the biggest athlete in that category? I mean, what does Shaq really do without Kobe? And you can sort of say that about Kobe got him a couple other than that, but even when he was in Orlando, you know what happened? He got swept by the skinnier guy. So my thing is, for all the people saying that there's this fat phobia, there's this fat hate, there's like all these things. Like again, the country as a whole has gotten larger, uh, especially in the last 20 to 30 years. Like it's gotten significantly larger. Let me see. Oh, that's not the one I want. Let me see something. I gotta bring this. I want to bring up a thing, right? Let me see if it's over here. What's going on? Right. So I'm going to go through this list of Tell you how to avoid being fat phobic, because all of you people in this conversation are fat phobic and you're all terrible. I'm doing this to teach y'all. I'm doing this to make y'all better people. Y'all don't want to hear it. Right. Nature Valley, that shit's so bad for you. 18 stone. What is a stone? Stone is what, like 20 pounds or something like that? How much is a stone? So here are 10 of the most common instances of fat phobia that personally affect that woman up top and many others. Here's some advice about how to combat them. Do. This is actually kind of funny. Wow, haven't you lost weight? That's fat phobia, right? You've lost weight seems innocuous, but it really creates uncomfortable sense that people are surveilling and judging your body. Make it a rule not to use language that focuses on your own or others' weight. You have no idea what somebody's going through when they're dealing with body shame and all those other things. Weight surveillance, that's a new term. Selfies taken from above. The religious avoidance of the double chin selfies. The camera is always held. Now, I don't use this goddamn British metric math. Give me that. What's that imperial shit? Try documenting yourself at different angles. Remember, you're photographing a special. Look, big girls invented the fucking. So, like, I did not know that. Like, I forgot when I learned that was a thing, but that is a thing, right? And again, if you're taking that angle, if you're doing these things to deceive, and if you've ever been on a dating site, if you've ever been, it's a commonplace thing, right? Women are the original liars. They'll take certain angles. The skinny ones try to put their butt on the sink. Women lie on dating photos, period. But if you're proud of being big, you're proud of these things, because it'll be, you'll say, oh, I'm a big girl. Why are you taking angles to try to hide that? Embrace it. Put it all out there. So what you'll notice, a couple of things you'll notice. What bigger women do is if they take a picture, especially a selfie, it'll either be at an angle, some kind of crazy, or if you do see a full body picture, just watch this. You'll see that hand placed right, like it'll be a thing. It's not a pose. It's a subconscious thing of them covering because they feel that, they don't want to show the stomach. Embrace it. It is what it is, right? Show who you are. Be who you are. If you don't like it, you got to change it. Tiny seats in restaurants. Make all the seats big. It's less room for customers, less money that the restaurant can make in a rush time, or, more weight for customers who want to eat there. I mean, so again, it's kind of a selfish thing right there. If you go to restaurants, make sure there's sturdy chairs without armrests, non-stationary tables and chairs, if cramped booths, are the main seating. Imagine having to take all this stuff into consideration. Like, if this is something that you deal with on a regular basis, you cannot expect the world to accommodate. That's selfish. That's extremely selfish. Like, I don't know. That's crazy shit to me. Romantic discrimination. Talk a lot of our romantic decisions to evolutionary biology, but the truth is our partner choice is highly influenced by social expectations and ideal. If we lived in some place, for example, where fatness is the beauty ideal, we'd have no difficulty finding biological rationalization for that attraction. Okay, so go live there. Like, if you know that in the society you live in, that's not what it is, then there you go. I guess actually, let me make sure I'm on the same spot, because what I'm seeing over here might not be the same on this side. Aggression on public transport and planes. Most instances of overt fat hate happen to me on public transportation. I avoid busier times on the train. Again, like, if I felt like I was dealing with all of these issues and it was one solution to minimize a lot of this unnecessary stuff I'm dealing with, I would take that option. I would do what was necessary. If I knew that one thing would remove all of these supposed problems that I'm dealing with, I would go for that solution and not expect tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, millions of other people to feel differently because of the decisions that I make. Again, selfish. I avoid peak commuter hours. Teenagers get out of school, be accosted verbally in a packed carriage. Once a group of teenagers sat in front of me, began taking selfies. Terrible. I watched them huddle together and start laughing. One of them tipped the phone, and I saw they were laughing at a zoomed-in image of my face. I asked a thin woman who was lying across 3 seats on a train platform if I could sit down. She called me a fat bitch. In this second instance, another thin woman stood up for me and proceeded to tell her off. Thin privilege, I guess. Professional and formal wear do not come in plus size. That's a lie. And I see it all the time. All right. It's not the most attractive shit, but I mean, again, fashion double standards. A thin person wearing yoga pants may be presumed to be heading to the gym, while a fat person may be perceived as sloppy. I don't think it has anything to do with the pants, right? I mean, period. And it's not just a woman thing. Like, I seen a dude the other day, he was at the Wally World. Fat dude, seemed like nice pants and J's, stomach hang out his fucking thing. It looks sloppy. Now, if it had been a skinny motherfucker wearing the same shit, depending on, I guess, the level of sag, niggas sagging skinny jeans and shit, he would still be considered sloppy, or we just considered modern fashion. But again, everything ain't for everybody. And that's the problem. Everybody feels like they should be treated like everybody else just because they exist. But everybody's not the same, right? It just is what it is. Fear of being seen in public with fat people. Many people, fat and thin, avoid being friends with or dating fat people for fear of public criticism. I once met someone who quite literally worshipped my body, but when it was time to take our casual hangouts into the public sphere, he told me he didn't have the balls to be seen with me. I ended the relationship and since vetted my dates in order to avoid partners like him. Something about a fat suit study, unsolicited weight loss advice, and medical discrimination. So, again, that's that. There's this thing. I don't think that this person is handicapped, but if you've gotten to the point where you cannot do basic things, like walk around a grocery store to get the shit you want to consume, then you may have an issue. And that's not medical discrimination. That's you making poor life choices. So there's that. There's this is a whole thing about plus size travels, all this other stuff. And, taking up the cards from people who really need them, right? There's the fucking grocery store. I see that shit every fucking time you go to a Wally or you go to whatchamacallit. Like, if you have too much weight that you cannot walk around a store for 10, 15 minutes or whatever it is that you got to, however long you're going to be there for whatever you're getting, then maybe you need to consider some lifestyle change and maybe consider some of the things that you're buying at that particular store. Now, this last thing I'm going to show y'all, I find this to really be funny, right? I find this to be really, 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 really funny. And the reason why is because of this shit right here. Back in the day, if you'd have called somebody this, you'd be insulting them, right? And I keep telling y'all, they don't have the piercings and all that, but crazy colored hair, even when natural, makeup, all these other things. People will do anything to accessorize themselves, but fix the issues that they have. This is a positive statement. This is how you know everything's ass backward. Micaiah Green is a queer fat black liberation organizer. If you back in school were called a queer fat black, that would be an insult. You fat queer black person, you, right? That would be an insult. But now, this is a proud statement, right? I guess this is where we are in society. I found that to be a little bit humorous. So, I'm missing stuff here. My bad. I got the chats all covered up. If the creator wanted us all to be a certain size weight or whatever, well, I mean, we have free will though, right? So, I mean, we control that. I think there's a lot of things like I don't think the creator wanted us to murder each other, but people do it. I mean, people do it and enjoy doing it. I don't think that was like the original grand design. Like, hey, I'm gonna make a bunch of people. I have said multiple times that there is a level. There are limits, but like I say, I'm a large man. I have no issue with big girl. But the argument is fat phobia, right? And this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the alleged oppression that is happening that I don't necessarily believe. 17, appreciate the love. It says, gaze into the looking glass. God's perfection is always reflected before me. I know I'm beautiful and I know I'm loved because God hates ugly. A stone is 14 pounds. That's terrible. That's such an odd thing. Guess my weight. Heidi's about 92 pounds. But like I said, the thing about it is, if you are big and you are owning that shit, own that shit. Don't get out there complaining, oh, people are treating me this way or treating me that way. Like, you can't be mad at people for feeling however they feel if you're going to embrace however you choose to, live your life. That's your choice. Live the way you want to live. I got long hair. You may not have noticed, right? A lot of people say, oh, them niggas with dreads is up to no good and they doing all the crime and they doing all this. It's like, I don't give a fuck what they think. I'm not crying about dread discrimination. More jobs. Need to hire niggas with dreads and not think that we all out here gangbanging. Because, you know what, that's like, I get it. It's a lot of niggas look just like out there committing shenanigans, crimes, fucking shit up. Look at the majority of the rappers. There's a lot of niggas out here shooting and banging, got dreadlocks. A lot of Haitians, a lot of fucking niggas in Florida, niggas in Louisiana. Like, I get it. I understand. I'm not gonna cry about it. If people feel a certain way because he looks like what, I'm not gonna cry because I chose this. Now, if I cut it off and I didn't, I'm still gonna, it might be something different. But I chose this knowing what comes with that. And so if you're embracing being a big person and that's what you want to be, then don't complain about what other people are doing, right? Like I said, I have no issue where there is a limit. We all got our limits, right? I see nothing wrong with a curvaceous plus size woman, what we would call plus size in America, right? But then there gets to a point where it becomes disproportional. Things don't add up. And hey, I got my limits. Some niggas, and sometimes I'll be little bitty, or I'll always be like little bitty skinny black niggas with big fat white women. That's like the main combination. But you'll never see the reverse of that. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Got your limits, right? But hey, again, that's my whole argument. If you are happy with where you are, the decisions you're choosing, then don't complain. Because if you're doing all that complaining, then obviously, you're not as happy as you say you are. That's my whole argument, right? Mid-size, Heidi. I learned a new terminology, mid-size. But that's my whole deal. Like, and I think, we can come up with excuses, we can come up with justifications, we can come up with reasonings, and we don't have to do any of that. The point is that if that's how you rock, if that's what you want, embrace that shit and run with it. Don't be mad that anyone, well, you better line up then, Heidi, because they will call me Ed Epstein because I defeat that level all the time. It ain't smooth going back on like that. But again, like, my whole deal is just, my problem is again, like, no, you're gonna be like, watch, you complain about weird lefties and stuff. Yeah, because I'm not part of that, Kim. I'm complaining about the nonsense they say. But I still look. The thing is, again, that's the one thing I've always said about the BBWs. Still, you can be a BBW and be proportionate. Like, I think the definition of BBW matters, right? The Den was founded on BBWs. That hasn't changed. That's a staple of the Den. BBWs and robo-hoes, right? But my thing is, there's a point where I believe there's, so let me see if I can write this proportionately properly. You got like anorexic, which is a no-go, right? For me, you got like skinny, which is not preferred in my book. We all have our preferences. Then you got like average, right? And that's where I can start working. I can start saying, okay, average, all right, we can, average. Well, maybe you got like I don't know, maybe playing like skinny and average. I don't know if there's like a toned or something. And then average is maybe like the chick who was that the black chick was complaining about. Oh, see, mid-sized women, this, or maybe like the chick who was not the second chick doing a little squatty dance, but the first. I think that's kind of average. That's she may be on the upper end of average. Then you got thick, okay, and then thick is proportionate in areas, right? Thick to me is not necessarily a belly, but you're proportionate in other areas, right? You can have a little, a little something there, but it's not protruding, right? Then I think that's when you start getting into the BBW area, right? Right past thick. And that's the problem. Like we got this blurred line society is trying to make between thick and BBW. And they just try to BBWs trying to call themselves thick. Well, you're a big girl. It's all right. Embrace your big girlness. You're a big girl. Just embrace that. And then I think there's a part where you get past BBW, and I think once the proportions start diminishing, and it's just like you start becoming like a round, just all around round. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't differentiate thighs and ass and from just it's all like one amorphous blob, and then you can't disassociate titty from belly, and then everything else. That's when I start thinking you start getting into obesity, right? I don't judge my scale by the BMI, right? Because if I looked at my BMI right now, I'd probably be, it wouldn't be good. So I don't judge it by the BMI. I'm all appearance. I'm all eye test over here. All right. And I think you got obesity, and then you got like the 600-pound life type people. And that's when you're getting into morbid obesity. All right. Now, so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Maybe just after BBW before you get into obesity, I think maybe you put fat in there somewhere. I think that's for fat. Because remember me and I'm gonna have to pull that video. We're gonna have to rewatch. I'm gonna have to bring back old. I'm gonna have to bring back some old dens, right? From when me and Shaq Kush had the argument about BBWs and Fabs. I'm gonna have to. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna one night. I'm gonna pull up an old den. I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be terrible. That's like old Kush did, and it's gonna be terrible, terrible, terrible. And I'm gonna bring back some old den. They were terrible. Voluptuous. I put voluptuous. Voluptuous is like in that maybe you could go in that thick BBW range area, voluptuosity, viscosity. You know what I'm saying? Do we have 8 levels? I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, well, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had 7. But if I throw the voluptuous and the fat categories, and it takes it to like 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And then anything over morbid obesity is dead. So 10, just to round it out to an even number. So that's kind of where we are with that. What's your range? um Let me see. You say forgot a category. Damn, you was big was left out. Are you talking about? You said that she looked like Janet Jackson got out the car looking like Freddie Jackson. That's a category. Yes. Yes. Um. Danger zone. Yes. Yes. The lovely Miss Sarah gets the green light. Heidi, not so much. Heidi's like in the he's like in the gray area. Mm. Oh, that's funnier to me than it should have been. Nah, you know I love you, Heidi. Um, you keep working, keep doing those butt blasters. You'll be there any day now. She's killing something, probably small black children. But anywho, I'm trying to decide. A little past my. I want to play some Far Cry, so I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna get on the gaming channel or if I'm just gonna fuck around and play the damn game myself. Me and Guapo. Um, I have been. I have not done any sauce this week. I have some shit I want to record. I need to do that. But all I'm saying is this again, just to put my Jerry Springer final thought onto it, is that we live in a society, right? And let's be honest, we're much bigger now in this society than we were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And you have people who are with the shit, who are embracing it, who are pushing body positivity, who are pushing all these things, right? And that's cool and that's fine. That's lovely. But we got a thing going on, an endemic going around. And the biggest issue in that thing has been, carrying too much weight. And so if that doesn't tell you something, then you're just not listening or whatever else it may be. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a looking ass nigga. If it looks interesting, I'm gonna look at it. But if you've chosen these issues, if you've chosen to be in this position, if you've chosen to embrace that lifestyle, just don't complain about it. That's all I'm saying. Like, take it, roll with it. There's good. You got some niggas that's just pure BBW chasers, right? And somebody's like, look at you, you're fetishizing us. So, I mean, you got your own select category niggas. So, again, and I'm saying this because it's odd that you don't necessarily hear men complaining about this thing, right? And Hitman isn't far from. I always beat the Epstein low. It's just you come around and put your bad German juju on, and you cause me to lose, right? I don't know what you have against me. I have no idea what it is that you have against me, but you're a terrible person, Heidi. But yes, super funny because that used to be a bit of a joke when I was younger. Oh, so I told y'all right that I'm super serious considering going back to school, and so I got some things. I had some holes and stuff I got to take care of at U of H, right? And so I had like none of my old information. We're talking about it's been a long, long time. A long, long time. And so I gotta call back Monday and try to get some shit worked out because it's a bunch of weird shit going. Like I said, it's been so long. But I may say fuck it and just go to a CC and then transfer the shit. But because there's a couple of classes I could probably test out of. But let's see. I'm gonna show y'all something. Would y'all like to see? I was probably 18 It's not Throwback Thursday, but would y'all like to see 18-year-old Honcho with no hair, or definitely without the dreads? I think I saved the picture. Significantly different. Damn, I keep forgetting that fucking OneDrive. Put my shit in the wrong fucking spot. It might be on a damn desktop on my goofy self. It probably is. No. I definitely don't be thinking. All right. No, this is actually probably a little bit after that picture. Lockbird. Yeah, I stumbled across this. It was, I guess, whatever. Back then, for whatever, I guess I don't know if I had a U of H ID thing or what. I don't remember none of that shit. All right, I'm just joking. That's not really it. That's some shit I did fucking around with that fucking around with that damn camera with that fucking them weird filters that I do all the Biden shit with. Yes, that's not really it. Give me just a second. This is it. I think I was probably like fresh out of fucking practice. It looked like a fucking mugshot. Definitely very hot. So there's that. Is this the pic from when I was selling bean pies? Absolutely not. This was a picture probably between practice somewhere. We had to report early. Probably in fucking what they call that. Before even school started. Like we had to not camp, but whatever. And like, yeah, 18 hours, it's weird. It's in the food, right? Like a old fucking man. It was funny. They showed like some videos from the day, like, this is kids when they were in 2003. Like kids in 2003, in the early 2000s and shit, they look like kids look in the movies these days, right? Still barely smile. I was definitely not a happy camper. I don't know where I took this damn picture at, but yeah, I don't even look like me. I'm equally as dark. I take pride in sustaining my color. But as you can see, not much for fucking facial hair. Everything else pretty much the same. It's really weird. I see a similar appearance to a cousin of mine that I never thought we looked alike. I gotta get that out of here. All right. So looked like, oh shit. I was a whole different animal back then. That's before I got old. I was a fucking beast. All right. So there's that. Before the weave, you say. Interesting. I don't know. I have been thinking. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna cut it though. I am gonna probably end up trimming my shit though, because it's gotten too long. Like when it gets to being inconvenient to do basic things, that's definitely when the hair has gotten too long. So yeah, I'm probably gonna yeah. So I may. The future dreads when Davis Mills takes us to the fucking Super Bowl. That'll be never. You know what I'm saying? You avoid the sun like a vampire. Terrible. Terrible. Yeah, I say I may do it one more time. One day. We'll see. I've debated it. We'll see what happens though. But with that being said, I salute all of you. I appreciate all of you with hats, glasses, and dreads. Well, the glasses actually do help me see a little bit better. I do need them. I need to grab a couple other pair just to switch it up. What else? There was something else I was gonna say. I don't know. I don't recall. Don't recall. What time is it? Is it midnight or so? About 15 minutes. I think good night, lovely Miss Sarah Lou. I think I might get on the gaming channel here in a few minutes. I want to focus on Far Cry. So I might get on here about 15 minutes or so. I better go for about an hour, so it's a little bit late. But I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. And y'all behave yourselves out there. Where's the gaming channel? I put the link on there. The lovely Miss Sarah Lou in 335 joined me the other night while I was listening to people speak bad Spanish. We put the link on there. I guess that helps to actually give the link, huh? So just to like meet me on this channel. I fucking oh, I might actually cleaned out my fucking links and shit. What the fuck? I'm looking. I typed in a specific thing, right? And some weird ass. Like I've seen my videos on like weird ass other sites and shit, right? But that's super crazy. That's super duper crazy. All right. Ooh, we had 39 folks. Who's gonna be lucky number 40? All right. Do. Biden supporters X. Meet up at the man. Look. I wish I could go back to the shed. I gotta go. Fucking the motherfucker's making me you know what? I mean, he's not using it, right? So I probably could. Was that? Oh, it's not too soon. He's been dead for a long time. He's not using it, so maybe I should. Hey, look, America. It's your boy Honcho here, man. Let me tell you what happened to me, America. I was at HEB, America, and I was trying to buy the watermelon. There wasn't no watermelon left, and so I bought some of the pre-made fried chicken. Oh man, you know what? In the South, I'll just address it as Houston. You know what? That's what the gaming channel should have been called, the fucking shed. All right, but this one I'm gonna slide out. I'm gonna switch up my settings and things here. I'm gonna drink more water, and then if y'all want to come rock out over there for a little bit, we can definitely do that. And yeah, I don't even have a thumbnail. Fuck it, just gonna make it do what it do. All right, gracias, Heidi. Thank you. I'm working on it. It's been a long week and been some other things going on. But after this weekend, things should be relatively back to normal. And I'll tell y'all all about it next week once everything is back to normal. It's been a strange few weeks, but we'll get there. So that being said, something to do shall be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Is this thing working? No. It's not working. I fucked up all the settings. I'll be changing profiles and shit. So we'll do it manually. Oh. Good shit. There we go. I'm in master's degrees.